It was her first teaching job, a private girls' school nestled near the outskirts of an old colonial town, the kind of place surrounded by forest on three sides, with history in every brick. The school was over a century old, once a convent, then an orphanage, and eventually turned into a boarding school after the war. She was hired mid semester to replace a literature teacher who had left suddenly. No one gave more details, and she didn't ask. At first, the school felt strange, but she chalked it up to the nerves. Her classroom was room number 309, top floor, at the end of the hallway. It had high ceilings, large dusty windows, and desks that creaked even when no one touched them. Her students were well behaved, always quiet, too quiet. They never made noise when entering or leaving. No chatter, no giggles, just silent eye contact. Their uniforms were slightly outdated. Long sleeves in summer, collars buttoned up to the neck. She once complimented a girl's ribbon. The girl just looked down and said softly, "It's all we were given." That line stayed with her. Over the weeks, she began to notice more oddities. The attendance register always listed the same 24 names, even though the school headmistress said she only had 19 students. When she questioned it, the office dismissed it as a record keeping error. But her classroom was always full, 24 desks, 24 girls, and they all answered roll call. Every single one. She began writing down their names separately, cross referencing. She soon found that 5 of the girls were not listed anywhere in the school system. No report cards, no birthdays, no medical records. She brought it up to the vice principal. His smile faded. He said, "Sometimes old records linger. Focus on the living ones." What did he mean by that? That night, she stayed after hours. She waited in her classroom until it was completely dark. Around 9 p.m., she heard it, the sound of chalk against the blackboard. But she hadn't moved. Slowly she turned, and there it was, a girl standing by the board, writing something, in the same uniform, head tilted slightly, hair covering half her face. The teacher whispered, "Who are you?" The girl stopped, looked over her shoulder, and said, "You already called my name." She ran out of the room, but the hallway lights flickered, and in every glass pane she passed, she saw dozens of eyes watching her. The next day, she tried to act normal, but the girls watched her differently. Their gazes were longer, unblinking. At recess, she heard them chanting in the courtyard, a poem she hadn't taught. It went, "We never left, we never cried, we stayed behind the day we died. 5 below, behind the door. We won't forget what we came for." She researched the school's history and found a single yellowed article from 1972. A gas leak in one of the upper dormitories. 5 girls died in their sleep. Room 309 had once been their room, converted into a classroom after the incident. Their names matched the 5 she couldn't find. That night, she went back to room 309 with her register. She stood at the front and called their names, one by one. Each time she said, a gust of cold air brushed her skin, and slowly, 5 of the seats began to fill, not visibly, but the chairs groaned, the air thickened, and the chalk began to float. A sentence was written on the board, "You see us now, don't stop." The next day, the 5 girls were there again, looking more solid than usual, and they began participating, raising hands, reading lines, and always smiling. But the other students, the real ones, grew more silent, distant. She received a complaint from the principal. Parents say their daughters feel watched, afraid. Some want to transfer out. She didn't explain. She just nodded. And that night, she tried to banish the spirits. Salt, candles, holy text. But when she entered room 309, The candles blew out instantly. The door slammed shut, and in the darkness, she heard all 24 voices whispering at once, "Teacher, don't leave us." The next morning, only 5 girls showed up to class. The other had been pulled by their families. She looked at the remaining 5, and now they were not pretending anymore. Their skin was pale, their eyes entirely black. They spoke in perfect unison. "You belong to this class now. You are the only one who stayed." From that day on, no one saw the teacher again. Room 309 was sealed permanently, but the cleaners often hear chalk scraping inside. And when someone walks past the door, you can hear a woman's voice saying, "All right, class, let's begin."